In America, I'm proud that my administration is characterized as the most pro-union administration in American history. No, I really mean it. And let me be clear, whether it's the auto workers or any other union worker, record corporation profits should mean record contracts for union workers.
All right, well, the president is still reminding union members of his support for them and how he's been at their side every step of the way, but he has yet to get the UAW endorsement. Maybe this appearance before them today will move the needle on that. Again, the UAW president has not indicated one way or the other where he'll go, but he has certainly been appearing to lean toward the president. The AFL-CIO, to my knowledge, has already committed to the president, but another union that has not done so yet is the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Sean O'Brien, its president, kind enough to join us. Sean, good to have you back. It's been curious because you've been fairly quiet on this, but you've been pretty fair and balanced on this. You've met with all the major presidential candidates, I think, save a couple. Most are out of the race now, but they did include Donald Trump, and there's another meeting coming up with Donald Trump. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, sir. So we met with Donald Trump 2 weeks ago, and we are meeting with our general executive board and rank and file members at the Teamsters headquarters on January 31st. We've extended the invitation to President Biden. We're talking to the White House now to try and schedule both on the same day. And we think it's important that we're meeting with all candidates. We have a very diverse membership, 1.3 million members. So we owe it to our members to do our due diligence and make the recommendation what's in the best interest of Teamster members nationwide.
You know, Sean, the other Sean, S-H-A-W-N, Fain, of the United Auto Workers, had said of a meeting with Donald Trump that it would be pointless. Quoting him here, I see no point in meeting with him because I don't think the man has any bit of care about our workers and what they stand for, what the working class stands for. He went on to say he serves a billionaire class, and that's what's wrong with this country. So meeting a waste of time. What do you make of that?
I mean, everybody has their opinions. You know, my opinion is, I think, you know, everybody has their own structure and opinion and doing things. But dialogue is very important. It's been very important to our organization. It's been very important. And look, we have conversations with billionaires every single day, corporate America, who we negotiate against, who we have to deal with. And, you know, a lot of times you find common ground when you have a dialogue. And look, I'm not speaking for any other union. I'm speaking for the Teamsters Union. We're not going to be influenced by any pressure to endorse one candidate or the other. You know, we understand that, you know, there's a lot of pressure out there to make an endorsement. We're going to do what we've historically done. We're going to do our due diligence and make our decision after we get input from our members and our general executive board.
It's been quite a while since you considered a Republican. What would make you switch now?
Well, look, there's a lot of issues that are important to us. You know, there's a lot of issues that, you know, we've got to deal with national right to work, which we are not for. We've got to deal with making organizing members that much easier without threats of retaliation. We need bankruptcy reform. We need a lot of commitments. There's a lot of boxes that need to be checked off. You know, President Biden has done great work on behalf of the unions. He's done real well fixing the pensions. But at the end of the day, you know, what we've done in the past doesn't make it, you know, guaranteed for the future. And we've got a very diverse membership, and our members vote. We know what our members, how they vote, and they can influence an election. So we need to make sure that all the boxes are checked off on behalf of our members.
You know, Sean, they certainly vote, and a lot of them are in the MAGA crowd. They love Donald Trump. So they don't often mimic union bosses. I don't want to paraphrase you that way, but that there is a difference between the higher-ups and the rank and file. What do you notice at the Teamsters?
Well, that's the perception. Yeah. You know, I know who I work for every day. I have bosses. I've got 1.3 million bosses that elect me to lead this great organization. So, look, at the end of the day, everybody has their opinions. It's a different time. To your point, you know, we endorsed, you know, Nixon, we endorsed Reagan, we endorsed George Bush Sr. Historically, over the last several years, you know, the Democrats have gotten, you know, the endorsement consistently. Right. But, you know, it's like anything else. We've got to take a step back, look what we did in history, and see if that's going to help us moving forward. And at the end of the day, the decision that's going to be made is going to be an inclusive decision. It's not going to be a one-sided. We're not going to take a hard line and say, we're not meeting with certain people. I'll meet with anybody, anytime, especially if it's in the best interest of our members. And I can't speak for anybody else's thought process, but I can only speak on behalf of the Teamsters Union.
When you did meet with Donald Trump, how did it go?
It went fine. I mean, we put our cards on the table. It was a very matter-of-fact meeting.
Yeah.
You know, he claimed he was, 100%, supportive of unions, but history, obviously, take a look back, and there's certain issues that we have with him. We told him what our issues moving forward is and what we want to see a president of the United States.
A lot of workers didn't like working with him. They said he wouldn't pay them. He wouldn't pay them overtime, that he reneged on contracts. I don't know how true a lot of that, but there's a lot of burnt bridges with his own former workers. Did that enter your thinking process? Yeah,
I mean, we had a lot of dialogue on that. We said, look, there's a lot of information out there that, contradicts what you said. And, he assured that moving forward that he's, pro-worker, pro-creating jobs, just like everybody else says. And, the one thing that we are good at, regardless of who wins this presidential election, we are going to be a conscience to any candidate, whether we support them or not, to remind them of what they said and what they are doing. I think that's important.
Sean, when you look at the markets, and I know you're a pretty savvy financial guy as well, companies are doing well. A lot of their earnings are better than expected. Not all, but a lot. And the feeling seems to be when that happens, a lot of union members themselves will say, all right, well, boss, you can afford to pony up more dough. A lot of those companies are very reluctant to do so because they think this isn't going to last very long. What do you think of that?
Look, I think, it's been clear there's been a disparity between CEO pay and company earnings versus what our workers are getting. I think we've changed that narrative. I think people deserve more, especially when a company's doing well. I think that's going to be our mission moving forward. I don't think, again, we can't predict what's going to happen in the future. All we know is that we provide goods and services and tremendous labor as a union movement, and our members should be rewarded as such. Remember, a lot of these CEOs and a lot of these people that are receiving dividends, high earnings, they've never done the job that our members are doing or the workers that are doing in the United States. And, we don't want it all, but we want more, we want some of it.
So when President Biden talks about going after companies dodging their taxes, paying more taxes, and that the wealthy should pay more taxes, are you on board with that?
Look, I think taxes are a very controversial subject. And look, I don't have a problem paying taxes. I never did, never have. I mean, especially with children, I don't mind paying additional taxes to get the services. And everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own perspective. And that's an issue that you have to, come up with a solution on your own or a decision on your own.
Well, that's Joe Biden's solution. That's Joe Biden's solution. The reason why I mention it, Sean, is that Donald Trump is just the opposite view. He wants to cut corporate taxes. He's already proposed that if he gets back in the White House, and he thinks the wealthy pay enough in taxes and wants to cut that as well. What do you think? I would
rather see corporations pay their workers more money. The tax issue is going to be decided on a higher level. All I'm focused on is making sure our workers get the most provided to, because they're providing great labor to this country and all these corporations.
Real quickly, because everyone has followed you since this dust-up you had with Mark Wayne Mullen, the Oklahoma Senator, you almost came to blows. Have you had that diner cup of coffee?
No, but I will say this. There has been kind of an unofficial ceasefire between Senator Mullen and myself. Going to continue to be a work in progress. Look, we're both very busy.
Okay.
We have a lot of goals and objectives we need to focus on.
I think I can take credit for that improved atmosphere, maybe providing something at an Italian restaurant, but we'll work on that.
I hope so. Thank you.
Very good. You have a good sense of humor about that. Sean O'Brien, the Teamsters president.